Ah, racial tension. I fucking hate it. Why do people consistently make a big deal out of it? I know if I was an employer, I wouldn't give a crap about what skin colour someone had. I just care about who the best person for the job was. I don't give a fuck if you're brown, black, white, blue, yellow, whatever. As long as you work hard and you're good at your job, I'll have no issue. I'm not going to give anyone special treatment or pity because of what they look like. But that's for another day. And maybe one day I become an employer and ensure a level playing field for all races. I hate how some black people feel entitled to reparations and special treatment because their ancestors were slaves. It's the 21st century. Get over yourselves. Work hard and stay determined, and you'll achieve just as much as any other person of another race could with that same ethic. Pulling out the race card at any given opportunity as an anti-defense mechanism against constructive criticism is like a fat person blaming their genes for weighing 400 pounds. And I'm not talking about thyroid issues here, even though weighing 400 pounds with thyroid is still a pretty mean feat. And not in the good sense. I know how much black people across the world want to be taken seriously, and I think that's great. The thing is, if you want to be taken seriously, then you shouldn't feel offended by what I've just said. I think the main problem behind racial tension and why it's so high right now is the fact people are just told how to react to certain situations and don't think for themselves. You should realise the fact that I'm not hate preaching against blacks in general, and that all I'm doing is disagreeing with actions which a certain percentage of your race partake in. Just because I don't like the blame game and invalid reasoning doesn't mean I hate black people. And now for a more potent message. Both black and white people, stop making such a big fucking deal out of everything. Black people, make a name for yourselves by working hard and doing the best you can. It's not the government's fault. Opportunities everywhere and there are scholarships at top universities. Don't pull the race card out when something doesn't go your way and hope political correctness helps you weather the storm. Grow a pair of balls, stop trying to sell your shitty mixtape on the street corner for $2 a pop and blowing your McDonald's wage on weed and dice, and instead, have some ambition and stop blaming the government for the situation you're in. 2/3 of the world's billionaires started from scratch. The soon-to-be CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, came from the streets of India sleeping on his living room floor with his brother. Do you think he used discrimination in his skin colour to climb to where he got to? I don't think so. I just think he's a guy who worked hard and got himself out of a shit situation. And to white people, just shut the fuck up. You statistically have everything going for you. Stop acting like entitled idiots and show compassion for others and look at the bigger picture. As of now, a lot of white people just seem to give off this I'm the bomb attitude, which is fucking annoying to have to deal with. I'm not really a quotes kind of guy. In fact, I only stand by one. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to change you is the greatest achievement. I do my best to live my life by this. Okay, I may not have had as many friends at school because of this, but I do know that the friends I made like me for who I am and not a person I'm trying to be. However, I truly believe that about one in every few thousand people abide by this, so chances are the majority of you watching this are sheep. That's fine, but just be the right kind of sheep. Be the sheep that people look up to due to the great outlook you have on society by having a pair of balls and realising that race shouldn't be affecting people nearly as much as it is. Let's stop covering non-stories and the usual bullshit so we can reduce the friction until it eventually doesn't become a problem. I say we really chill out on the whole which side are you on bullshit. We should stop showing news stories of the KKK and stop channels like Black Entertainment Television from airing. I'm not really a look towards the future guy. I don't really care that much about the ice caps melting because in all honesty, it's not going to affect me or my kids, or their grandkids, and after that, I really don't give a shit. But if you're really an advocate for the end of racism like I am, then stop spreading this one-sided shit. Guess what? Eventually the old men sitting in their deck chairs talking about how the darker bunch should be in the cotton fields are going to die, whether they like it or not. And less people will have that view towards black people, because guess what? It happened a long time ago. Oh, but kid, we need to educate people and study this in Black History Month. Listen, learning about history is important, not making the same mistake twice, but come on. Most people give way more fucks about what's happening in real time, and so should you. Move on. The less we talk about this kind of stuff, the closer the races become, since everyone isn't so flipping hostile about something that happened before they were born. Before moving on, I need to clarify something. Me talking about how something which is a big deal shouldn't be, isn't making it a big deal. I'm just trying to educate people to shut the fuck up and forget. So in 200 years, people don't have to deal with racial tension. I'm not stirring the pot by making this video, I'm trying to make people think differently about their views. We need to nip this shit in the bud, so that the next however many generations don't have to feel like sheep, who get called Oreos or pussies if they don't want to buy some J's or listen to Deep House. It's time to grow the fuck up and move on. Let's all stop looking for trouble and let's try and get on with each other and forget the past. We had nothing to do with the past. Nothing. So why are we trying to act like it's affected us personally? Listen, there's peer pressure present in every community, but in the black community it seems more present than ever. It's like you have to fucking love hip-hop, be decent at rap, and mainly hang out with people of your skin colour, otherwise you can't listen to 2 Chainz with your buddies. If that kind of shit's happened to you, those people weren't your friends, I'm just saying. To all the black people who feel offended, you need to realise I'm trying to help you out here so we actually move forward and strive towards racial harmony, and so that we don't get stuck in this poor me entitlement bullshit. If you want to make sure that your great-grandkids only give a shit about the colour of the marbles they're using and not the colour of the person they're playing marbles with, then stop having television and award shows for only people of a certain skin colour. I'm going to explain why, since I feel that there are a lot of people that are just going to be offended because they heard, oh, the kids said they should stop showing black shit on TV. You're all idiots for feeling that way, but fine, I'll justify my reasoning. I'm guessing you want your kids growing up in an equal society where they don't feel lesser than anyone else. I want that for my kids one day, but don't you realise that supporting shit like Bet is giving them the most one-sided views out there? They should be learning about racial harmony and seeing races support each other. Not a bunch of black guys taking part in some shitty rap battle. Why, you ask? Because that's what they're going to fucking talk about at school and trying to replicate, and this whole race issue will never get fixed. Kids will just feel like they have to help a brother out, because that's all they've seen on fucking TV. It doesn't educate them. If you think I'm stereotyping, Bet bases the majority of its shows on African American stereotypes. Stop feeling sorry for yourselves and grow a sack, and be proactive, and teach your kids and friends that they shouldn't just be hanging out with people of their own skin colour. Because that's all that Bet does. Oh kid, the white people do it too. Yeah, the fucking KKK do it, and some 8-year-olds in the South. Okay, the KKK are fucking morons, and the 8-year-olds are going to die soon, and they're also morons. I also don't give a fuck about the whole, it teaches them African American culture. I mean, get over yourself, seriously. Personally, I don't give a fuck if some kid can whip or nay-nay, or Dougie or freestyle. It doesn't add anything constructive to this world, and the sooner you teach them actual life lessons, the better. We should be encouraging kids to follow their own paths and dreams. Making them sit in front of TV and just seeing things from an African American or white perspective isn't going to do that. I think we should tell all of our kids it doesn't matter what someone else's skin colour is, because it doesn't fucking mean anything. It really fucking doesn't. If you still support Bet after this, you're clearly not an advocate for racial harmony going forward. And you shouldn't feel oppressed if you feel discriminated against, because you're doing nothing to prevent it. You're not solving the problem by watching those programs, you're making it worse. It's not entitlement, it's not freedom, and it's not even culture. It's a fucking clique idiots bundle themselves into so they can feel all safe and warm in the fact that they're hanging out with their brothers, even though if another race did the same shit, they'd be jumping all over it and calling them racist for not letting them take part. Think for yourself, not for your race. I'm out.